the map bans too that are on your screen. We're going to be heading to Clubhouse and Coastline. Uh, I was looking at a couple of the older VODs. Revenge banning Border makes sense. They don't have the greatest history. Envik's pick of Clubhouse to me is strange. They've lost it twice, and Revenge are undefeated. Uh, and Revenge, their second best map is Coastline. So I don't know. To me, it already looks like Revenge is going to probably be taking this map, especially with Enviik down lower in the standings. But again, they've effectively been playing without the primary IGL, so I don't want to make too many assumptions. Next, if I'm not mistaken, we do have the standings as well. So, as I mentioned before, Enviik, unfortunately, they have not won a map yet. They're currently 0-4, -20 differential. Meanwhile, Revenge, they are up in second place, just below Vex. They're 4-1-1. If they take this match, in a 2-0, they'll have a one-map advantage over Vexed, at least until they play. And Enviik, they're definitely looking for that first win to put themselves over Regnant, try and put himself in either. I believe they'll take ninth. Yeah, there's no way they can take eighth. So trying to take ninth place at least. They haven't. They also had to reschedule the game, so that's why they only have. You'll notice they only have 4 maps played, while everyone else has 6. We want to look at the lineups for today too. Enviik will consist of Serpega, who's back. Glad to see him doing well. Mr. Easters, Zandini, Hoshi, and Rai. And on the side of Revenge as well, we've got Nerf, Segenex, Verch, Temp, and Meds. Um, Again, I don't want to make too many assumptions about Envik's playstyle yet, but what I did notice from Revenge, at least watching them on Border, is they hold things very openly, is the word I'd use. I don't know how that's really going to work out on Clubhouse. You typically don't see many, quote unquote, very open horizontal defenses. Concerning Coastline, though, Coast definitely lends itself to that kind of play style. So, um, hopefully we'll see some new stuff, some new stuff from Enviik now with Serpega. But it seems like all 10 players are ready to get into the game. So, we can likely just jump right into Clubhouse again. Too, this is Envik's map pick, so it's going to be Revenge with the starting side. It's Clubhouse, who's not going, who's not going to pick defense first on Clubhouse. If you don't do that, you're kind of insane. So, um, the thing about Clubhouse too, again, Revenge are undefeated on it right now. If we want to look at their past record, they took down UX 7-4. They took down Timber 7-4 as well. They beat NMNP on Coastline 7-2. I mean, they've been. Yeah, right. They only have one loss. They've only got one loss to Timber, and that was on Border, so it makes sense that Revenge would want to ban that out. They've also got a draw on Border too. Meanwhile, Enviik have lost Clubhouse 7-2. They lost Clubhouse 7-2 to LCD. They lost Coastline 7-2 to Budapest 5, as well as Clubhouse to the same team 7-4. So I don't know. Hopefully they'll do okay in this game. Hibana is going to be the first ban from Revenge, so taking off one of the hard breachers. That's usually what you see. It's going to be either Maverick Thermite or Hibana. The fact that it wasn't Maverick or Thatcher, though, means that one of those two anti-breach operators is still going to be on the board. I would assume it's going to be a Thatcher ban from Enviik. Actually, no. Yeah, okay, yeah, Thatcher. I don't know why I doubted myself. So Maverick's at least still on the board, so even though there's no Hibana, and even though Kaid's left up with no Thatcher, you still got Maverick to open those hatches. So not the biggest deal in the world. The thing that's really going to impact the attackers most concerning the Hibana ban is now it's going to be harder to not only breach into the garage, but it's also going to be harder to make that construction split happen on the cache side of things. You've also got concerning basement, not that big of a deal. It's mainly going to hurt those upstairs pushes. Valkyrie as well going to be the first defensive ban, as well as Echo following. So a lot of intel now off the board for the defense. And honestly, Valkyrie and Echo both being off the board kind of nullifies the need for an IQ. If you think about it, right? You don't need to spot those yokais, you don't need to spot black eyes. None of that utility is really going to be too hidden unless you want to take IQ just to take out utility to the floor anyway, which it appears Hoshi is going to do. Um, I mean, she's always useful. She's just not she's not a necessity. And he's actually on Blitz now. Okay. That's okay, yeah. Okay, I wouldn't imagine he's sticking the Blitz. So it's gonna be CCTV cache first for Revenge. Typically the primary site. Jaeger Wamai combo for actually Jaeger Wamai and Maestro to burn as much utility as possible. You've got Kaid for wall denial. Again, not the biggest deal in the world. The only thing is that you can't just chuck an EMP and do away with the Electro Claw for free, like you would normally do with the Thatcher up. You're just gonna have to either Maverick trick the wall, which a lot of teams do, or you could do the IQ Maverick thing where you take IQ, use it to spot out where the Electro Claw is, and then Maverick where it is, so you can shoot it out from like below. If it's at the top of the wall, and just find it straight up. That's what a lot of teams do. But the whole point is that Maverick's a little more time consuming, but all in all, a little more flexible when it comes to opening those walls. You got Serpega on Thermite as well, so if they try to go for that construction pinch, it's still possible. It's just a hell of a lot more difficult because impact tracking is a thing. That wall is probably like the easiest wall on this entire map to impact trick. You've got Maestro, who I believe has impacts. He's going to be your main set playing by that wall. It's not going to be too difficult for them to lock that out unless they try to, I don't know, unless they try to Maverick trick that too. But it's already a drop into Logi, I think, from that attacker. That's very, very quick control so far from the IQ, breaking single panel as well. They want to move into construction and drone all this out as quick as possible. That's really early control from Enviik. Well done so far, wasting absolutely no time. 40 seconds into they're already in the building and cutting off the flank on main stairs. So good drone work to spot that that's all clear, but you do have to worry about the Jaeger. Verch is on a very long roam. He's down by stage. He can look through this hatch and essentially by himself stop anyone trying to breach or put utility down on that wall, which is what he's going to be playing for. He can almost spot the head of one by the pallets in construction. I believe it's the Zofia of Mr. Easter. One wrong step and her head will be taken off by the 416. Verch is just going to keep holding this angle. He knows that there's someone there. There's someone, I believe, on the server, or on the construction window as well. He should be able to catch that vault. The drone will come out and it will spot him, so they at least are aware of that position. You see Mr. Easter checking it. Make sure Jaeger has fallen back. Verch isn't going to press the issue, but Mr. Easter will chase the frag as he's got drones in front of him. He's got enough intel to try and find this Jaeger. He's got a ping as well. He's on top of red, but he loses the fight to the M762 anyway. Mr. Easter a little bit late on the cleanup, but still finds the first frag nonetheless. Verch goes down first. That's your aggressive roamer off the board. And another one through the floor by Rai onto Nerf. An excellent anchor pick. That's your Maestro, and most importantly, that's your impacts. Now, that wall that I was talking about, that it's typically so hard to get open, is now completely free. So they'll be able to get the construction wall down. Temp, though, he'll finish off Zandini, and that's your breach presence, or at least your balcony presence now off the table. I don't believe there's an Electro Claw on it, so if Serpega wanted to, he could rotate around and open it fully just to, officiate the pinch even more. Mez moving down into stock just to make sure there's no one still underneath. The Buck was tearing them up. It was Rai who found the Maestro to really free up that construction wall for his team, but it doesn't look like there's gonna be a rotate. There's 3 attackers by the construction side. The 4th might be trying to pressure out Garage around the wall. Thermite's trying to make his entry into sight already. Segenex will light up Mr. Easter. Rai takes out Temps. It's a 4 versus 2. Serpega's getting the plant down as well. The gas canister's not out to deny, and the plant will go down. Excellent attack so far by Enviik, taking advantage of the lack of cover in sight. The Wamai goes down as well, followed up very quickly by the smoke. Mr. Easter and Hoshi find the last 2 kills. And Enviik will take round number 1 on their attack fairly dominantly. Um, 4 men still up, I think, for them. Only 1 frag came in the way of, who was it that got the kill? I think it was Temp onto the wall. So, really well played, especially taking out that Maestro. I was surprised that they were able to just push into through construction into the doorway. Uh, Sejanek's not gassing out the breach of the main door because it's two angles to cover, but at least if you take out one, they're gonna have to push through the other. You can just sit someone there and have them watch the angle, but they'll try cash again. And it was a good strat all in all. It really just came down to the Maestro dying early and being unable to impact trick that wall and the breach falling for free. The same op selection, I believe. Yeah, same exact ops for both sides, actually. So I would imagine if Revenge don't change too much, Enviik is going to attack it in a very similarly.
Attackers must locate and defuse a bomb.
I'm surprised, honestly, if the main attack from Enviik is also coming from, from Lounge. I'm surprised Revenge aren't trying to really contest that at all. I mean, you've got Verch just kind of running around downstairs, but it's nothing solid. Like if you were to bring a lot of teams, they take like a castle strat, where they'll stick the Mozzie down there or something to contest Lounge for as long as possible. It's just a little interesting that they're not going to be playing for that, but again, if Maestro stays alive, they could possibly just stick with the impact trick and deny that construction pressure. Again, very early entrance into Logi, taking control of that construction side. So far, Enviik already look a decent bit better than they have in the past. And I guess, you could attribute that to Sir Pega coming back. They're really able to play around him better. They have their proper primary IGL. They're just droning out downstairs a little bit more to see if they can find the Jaeger, but it's Zandini on the Maverick to start us off this time onto Sejanek. So the smoke that played, or could have played, such a pivotal role in the last round will not get any chance to here. Unfortunate, but it's a frag grenade. I guess there was no magnet or ADS covering, or if there was, they'd already been taken out. There's nothing you can really do against that. So it's not Sejanex's fault. It's just unfortunate for him. But a good frag grenade there by Zandini to open things up. A huge operator off the board. Aware of those bullet holes is the attackers, though. They'll take a spray at Meds before Verch will find Hoshi. Wait, where was Hoshi? Oh, okay, he was in construction. He just peeked around by the red reinforcement. Rai as well, trying to take that same engagement through the floor, will get very lit up, though Sandini finds another one onto Meds. The Wamai, who is trying to play aggro and find that player outside, will rotate through the garage, not expecting the Maverick on his secret window. Again, man count advantage in Envik's favor. Revenge, they need to take this round. He'll fell the Thermite, though. Excellent frag by Verch, and that's now diffuser control in his hands. One player by Enviik is going to have to rotate. You've got Maverick outside the breach. You've got Buck downstairs who's low on HP. It's really going to be up to Mr. Eastern. If he can't win this fight, that's effectively the round lost unless Enviik pull out something absolutely heroic. Still, at least it's even man count, so they're not... Revenge aren't, they're not out of the woods just yet. They do have enough manpower to try and pinch this Jaeger out, who it appears has fallen back. I don't see his silhouette anymore at all. The question is, does the Zofia know? She doesn't. The Jaeger's back in sight. Nerf takes out Rai. The Maverick gets absolutely pinched. It's all up to the Zofia. With only 5 seconds left, he's got to pick up the diffuser. He'll get lit up and finished off by the pistol of Verch. Revenge. They'll take their round back. A lot of that was largely down to not giving a free pick through the floor, first of all, and the swing by the Jaeger. The swing by the Jaeger was huge, especially because, the first time that they had taken that site, it was, the Thermite had plenty of help. That time they just kind of left him alone, stranded on an island. They took a lot more time to try and open the wall.
Attackers need to locate
And, that allowed the Jaeger to just swing, take diffuser control. The last 3 players scrambled. They had absolutely no clue what to do. They were low on HP, and that was just kind of that was wraps. So. Church is going to be next, though, for Revenge. Looking to try and take 2 in a row on both the main primary sites. Almost identical op selection, except instead of Kaid, they have the Mozzie, because they know,
5 seconds left.
you know, even if they bring a Kaid, there's still a Maverick on the board for Enviik on Zandini, so it's not like those hatches are going to be denied for very long. So you might as well swap off. Take Mozzie. Drone denial is always useful. He's got a really good kit. Well, not as good anymore because he doesn't have the super shorty, but he's still got a really good gun. The pistol's decent, I guess. He's got a C4 though, and if he does capture any of those drones, it's a huge boon for the defense. In terms of intel. Already moving into secret is Hoshi. Again, Enviik have been in the building pretty damn fast. And I guess that's, you know, mainly down to good drone work. They're able to cut off these rotates very early, and you know, I'm positive at some point this early control is going to catch someone on Revenge off guard. You know, speaking of, Verch is already dead too. So, you know, he may have been caught off guard by that opening pick. And by that early control. Fortunately, I didn't see who it was that got that kill, but Sir Pego will at least be refragged. Now, that's the fact. Sorry, not that. That's the Thermite dead. That is a pretty huge pick, especially on Church. Now I mean, I don't know if he's gotten Dirt Wall down already, but now you can't open Church. You can't get the kitchen hatch for free. You know, Mavericking open the kitchen hatch is really difficult, especially if there's someone playing below you who has C4. There's no one on site that I don't think would have C4, but you've got at least impacts, I think, on Nerf, so you could certainly do a lot of damage with that. But speaking of a lot of damage, the Maestro will eat some rather than dishing it. Not sure by who, maybe by Ride through the floor, maybe by Hoshi on secret stairs, but Nerf is going to be low. Despite having the Alda, he's still going to have to play pretty carefully, but he'll get the frag on Mr. Easter anyway and fell to Zofia, who I believe was pushing by Oil Pit? I want to say, yep, it's going to be Oil Pit. So, a good frag there by Nerf, and now man count advantage back in Revenge's favor. A lot of time being wasted by Enviik on this top floor as well. There's only 30 seconds left, and they've yet to take control of really anything downstairs. They're going to push Oil Pit again. A frag grenade comes out to clear the shield, but is caught by an ADS. And a beautiful pre-fire over it. Nerf catches the head of the Maverick, and now it's a 2 versus 4. Enviik in a not an enviable position at all. Ascension X finishes off Ride with a gas canister, and another pre-fire against the IQ, this time from Meds. Revenge will find round number 3 on a Church. 2 in a row, stringing together a decent win streak so far. That's your main 2 sites off the board. Now you got to rotate to Jim, though. Jim is going to be Envik's best chance to try and tie this up with the way that Revenge has been playing. They got the kill on Verch, and they just really it was just locked down. Nerf took things into his own hands and said, "No, you cannot come in." I don't know why the push repeatedly came from Oil Pit over and over, but
Attackers need to locate and defuse bombs.
you know, hopefully they'll adapt it for next time. Interesting as well, for something I was going to bring up, but just didn't, is that Mira is still on the board. That is a rare sight to see on really any map at all. Uh, it's typically a mirror ban, echoes kind of the dark horse with whether or not he's going to be off the table. But no, Temp is going to be picking her up and playing her on Jim. Jim is probably her strongest site. You set her up in bathroom and somewhere else, maybe Logis, maybe to support the offsite presence in cache, what have you. But Jim is typically where you're going to see her brought if she's left up. Again, an early entry from Mr. Easter into Garage. Maybe could have been caught by Verge, but Verge just wasn't looking there. And this is the first thing Enviik's going to have to clear is this cache red stairs presence. Rye's already trying to get to work on that from below using the buck. A lot of drones coming out as well to make sure no one's downstairs to contest him. Mr. Easter moving up through Garage. He's probably going to be the first point of contention, unless he's just going to hold an angle. But it's Sejanex to take out the buck. Rye getting caught there through the floor. Unfortunate for him. That's a lot of downstairs presence off that Revenge don't have to worry about, but Mr. Easter follows it up on a refrag on the Verge, taking the fight into construction as well, not going to land any shots. We're back to an even 4v4, but I think the loss of a buck is a little more influential than the loss of a Jaeger. But at least you've pretty much cleared the cache roam, which is good. A minute 20, or not a minute 20, a minute 15, a minute 10 wasted. That's not a lot of time. That's actually, as far as cache clears go, that's pretty quick. And you've traded 1-for-1. You've traded out Jaeger for buck, though. Maybe the trade itself in the favor of Revenge, but time certainly in Enviik's hands. It's up to them to not let it bleed away, and up to them to not squander it. It doesn't look like they're going for much Jacuzzi presence, though. I think they've got the breach open, but there's not anyone actually playing there. Which is a little strange that you don't at least want, pressure there. And Meds will take out Mr. Easter, trying to move in the Logi. He gets another with the AUG. Excellent play by the Wamai, just holding off this rotate. If you're crouch peeking someone through a rotate, that's not an advantageous fight. 9 times out of 10, you're probably just going to lose that, which Med's had proven. He's very lit up, though. He's around 25 HP, but he's still alive. It's still a gun on the board, and it's still pressure Enviik are going to have to worry about. Hoshi's going to try and take that position now. He knows the Wamai is fallen off, but Hoshi will eat a lot of damage from said operator. 30 seconds left, and him and the Thermite, who has just gone down, will have to try and make something happen soon. He'll get finished off, and so will the IQ and Revenge. They will take the perfect site rotation. So, that first round from Enviik, that first round win, hopefully, hopefully not just a flash in the pan, as they've yet to look as dominant really in any of these rounds. It was, Enviik pushed out cache pretty quickly, but couldn't turn that into an execute. They got completely stomped in construction. One guy died, or two different people died just trying to walk in the Logi with no drones in front of them. So, no utility came to clear him out. There was no one on the hatch either, which was really strange. Usually when you take Logi, you try and position someone there to, to prevent that exact kind of play. That's just a little bit confusing from Enviik, and Revenge will rotate back to their primary site. They'll go back to cache. Yeah, that lack of Jacuzzi presence, I think, hurt them as well. That was really odd to see them open the breach and then immediately forfeit that position, because that allowed Meds to after he got the kills in Logi to just rotate back out for free because they knew he was there. I guess they just didn't. I mean, I guess they just didn't want to contest with the Mira, but still you can stun lock her and at least try and push back into the hallway. But yeah, that Logi push got completely shut down.
Attackers have dropped the bomb. Attackers have recovered their.
We'll see what Enviik do here. Riot has taken a lot of damage already. Strangely enough, Verch is also, just running around like he has been on these cash defenses. He's been their only roamer, solo roaming. Um, First round, he wasn't able to do much. He got caught out by the Zofia, but the second round, he came up big, got 2 very influential kills, which was really good to see from him bounce back like that. I think it's really up to Enviik to try and shut him down if they want to take this, or at least push in fast enough so that he does not have time to rotate back to site and do anything, at least do anything effective. Um, and the Electro Claw is going to stop Thermite again. It's going to be up to Rye to go downstairs, use a skeleton key, get rid of all that stuff. But Zandini's taken a lot of damage as well, already on about 30 points, I believe, from the Jaeger of Verge through the secret window. So, Jaeger's already made his presence known with a lot of damage on your Maverick. And Enviik are taking significantly more time, and they'll just peek. I don't know why Zandini went for the repeak. He knew the Jaeger was there. However, it will be refragged onto meds. So at least they find a frag back. Maverick for Wamai, I'd say that's pretty even. Wamai's gadget's no longer going to be regenerated. Zandini's utility no longer on the board either. But 50 seconds left. You've only got a minute left if you're Enviik, and I don't even know if they've gotten the construction wall down, as Temp will find Mr. Easter on the Zofia. Serpega's also lit up. Another one for the Jaeger, but Serpega moves in and finds a double. A second with the pistol. That's 3 on the round for him in sight control, as Temp and Verge, I believe, are still off site, or at least off A. Hoshi as well is covering the cross. He's got the G8A1. Temp is lit up. Verge, though, he's coming in from garage. They've got pings. So these last 2 defenders do have all the intel on these last 2 attackers in sight. Through the floor. Wow, the Kaid will get another C4 to come out. It won't find anything, but it'll prompt the rotate from the attacker, and Jaeger will get the last one. Revenge will win round number 5. That was definitely a lot closer. Really, really good job to Enviik to take that initiative that round, but in the end, it was down to... It was an intel game. Really, that's what it was. And Revenge had way more. They had Evil Eyes. It was either an Evil Eye or a Bulletproof. Whatever it was feeding them intel. Kaid got a kill through the floor. And Jaeger, all Verch had to do was peek and pre-fire because the thermite was low enough. A good try by Serpega. He got 3 trying to push into sight, but unfortunately, as the rest of his team fell around him, it just wasn't enough.
Defenders, protect your bombs from being defused by attackers.
They'll go back to Church. Church was mainly due to... It was won by Revenge, mainly due to Enviik not having too many avenues to try and push in from. They all tried pushing blue, man. They funneled Oil Pit, got taken out by Maestro, and then from then they just didn't have the manpower to take site. It's a lot more aggressive, though. This is pretty much... Not exactly, but it's very similar to a space station roam. You've got the castle for, just extra coverage with those barricades. You got the mute and the vigil for the drone denial. And Revenge are going to be largely exposed to this rush, but Enviik... Wow. The Buck TK'd his Thermite trying to open the wall, but the entry into sight is at least successful. Nerf will die on sight, and now Enviik have full control because Revenge are all upstairs. This is a beautiful play so far by Enviik. Hoshi's taking the fight in the hallway. He'll fell another. Plant going down by Rise. Hoshi takes another fight, but he finally loses out. Zofia elsewhere will take down a player. The player moving up long will die, and it's cleaned up by the Buck coming off the plant, and Enviik take a very successful rush through dirt. Because Revenge just weren't ready. They were still setting up. That was unfortunate. Very, largely unfortunate for Revenge, but a great spot there by Enviik to see the vulnerability and absolutely crush the roam. Even starting off with a TK too. Rai trying to open up the dirt tunnel and
Attackers
just
need to locate and
shotgunning
defuse
his
any
thermite in the
bomb they
face
can.
was interesting to say the least. But they recovered. He picked up the diffuser and planted like a man. So, well played to Rai. And it's going to be Church again. You can see already they are going for a much more turtle-style setup. They do not want to fall to that rush again.
10 seconds remaining.
The Warden...
5 seconds to insertion.
Or sorry, I forgot, it's the side switch. I'm surprised Enviik are taking Warden.
Defuse the bomb.
I guess maybe expecting a Ying, but it's, I mean, there's no Ying on the board, so maybe a bait by Revenge. They've got Pulse too, who's going to be playing back Arsenal, looking for a C4 and anyone trying to pressure out the hatch. Capitao as well from Temp, that's very different. Enviik didn't bring a single Capitao, so they were lacking those fire bolts and the smokes. And a lot of those pushes as well with the bottlenecks and the way that Revenge were playing shields, those fire arrows could have definitely come in handy. But there was a Wamai being played by Revenge on some of those rounds, so they could have likely been caught, but still. Furch watching behind Generator, waiting for that player to push out, taking pre-fires with the Ash. Not going to find anything just yet. Now they know he's up top secret stairs. Shouldn't expose themselves to that anytime soon. There is a player, I believe that was Zandini, inside of Moto, waiting to trick the hatch, but as soon as the Maverick starts to get to work on it, he should fall off. Rai, interestingly enough, playing with the MP5K instead of the AUG, instead of the hard-hitting rifle, he's going to try and do everything with the SMG. Why did he destroy it? Huh. I don't know why he destroyed the magnet instead of just picking it up again. But Meds eats a lot of damage, presumably from a C4, likely by Hoshi playing under him with the pulse. And now I mean, your soft breacher being the one very, very lit up, that's rough. He's going to have to be a lot more careful when it comes to opening up that floor. Falling off the engagement rather quickly instead of just taking the fight immediately. But speaking of taking fights, it's the Maverick to find Mr. Easter first, and your Jaeger falls. Not the biggest pick in the world. It's still an entry into sight. So good job by Segenex to find that opener. Trying to move down into long, though. The Kayan will actually lose that with the TCSG, and there's another kill found as well. Serpega on the Warden will fall. A 2 versus 5 for Revenge as they try to make their ascent into sight. They are well in hand with the man count advantage, and this Wamai is getting pressured out by the Ash. They have enough men to try and split up their push to take out, to cover as many angles as possible. The Ash will win that gunfight. A great entry frag and another for the Ash. And that's Revenge cleaning up a flawless round, virtue of Virch, just pushing in down secret stairs. He held that flank for so long in secret, and because the rest of his team was doing so well to clear out the rest of sight, that Moto push was doing wonders for them. The defenders couldn't cover that many angles, and Verge took advantage of their backs being turned and just shift W'd into sight as Ash as you do. So good job by Revenge.
Attackers need to locate and defuse bombs.
And they will now lead 5-2. Not great for Enviik. Moving on to their defense. Losing Church already is not what you want to see. If they lose Cash, that's effectively the map won because you've put yourself on map point No, so not only would Revenge be on that point, but it's also more than a full start rotation for Enviik to try and take it back. And even if they do take Church and Cash, it's still a 6-4 scoreline, and then they've got to go back to, they've got to go to Jim, which is not too favorable.
Attackers must locate and defuse a bomb.
Stop worrying about things now. Reloading mag. Changing mags.
Again, Capital coming out for Revenge, which is another thing that I think Enviik was sorely missing, and the fact that Capital is coming out is going to pretty much mean that they are going to be looking for that garage take. The garage is a lot harder to try and flesh out without the aid of the fire, and they're going for, I believe, the Maverick trick. Yeah, they're going for the Maverick trick on the wall, so they just don't have to deal with Serpega on the Bandit, which is, it's always a good workaround. Mr. Easter and Hoshi have also taken a hell of a lot of damage, almost a full body between them. I'm not sure from where, but oh wow, one was on red. I believe that was the Jaeger of Mr. Easter. Med's all the way down into Oil Pit, though. He's got a nice angle on the rafters that the player up there might not expect. I'm assuming it's Zandini because he's the one with an ACOG. It could either be him or the Wamai. Sometimes we see Wamai play up there because he has a rifle and he can't just regenerate magnets to keep protecting him. Speaking of the magnets, the nade will be caught by Meds. He'll try again, though. Try for the second one in rafters, but it'll just light up, who I believe, yeah, I think that is, yeah, that is Zandini. Actually not lighting up Zandini at all, and that'll result in him getting a kill on the player on the doorway. Nerf just kind of peeks into it and dies. A little confusing there, but, your Thermite's job is largely already done anyway. It's really just a gun off the board at this point, but still man-count advantage now in Enviik's favor. With only 50 seconds left, Revenge don't have the Garage Raptors control. The Capital will try and send out an arrow, and the Kai just eats it. He takes a lot of damage, and he finds another with the Han Solo pistol, but meanwhile, 2 of his teammates have fallen elsewhere. Zandini finally gets traded back, but another attacker will fall. It's all up to the Maverick of Sejanex against Rai and Mr. Easter. Mr. Easter has eaten a lot of damage. He is maybe 1 or 2 bullets from the M4. He's got to find Rai, which he will. A triple kill on the round for him. A great headshot there. We're now down to a 1v1. That man-count advantage that Enviik had held slips away, but he doesn't see the Jaeger hugging the breach. Unfortunately, not checking his corner, whipping out the nade instead. Mr. Easter will clean up the final kill. And Enviik, despite it, again, being a very close round, hold on in the 1v1. Well played by Mr. Easter, especially to the Kaid of Zandini, getting that, I believe, a 3K. I'm pretty sure that was a 3K. Especially with the Han Solo pistol, too. I did not expect him to get that. Answered back by a 3K by Sejanex, but it just wasn't enough. Sejanex had no intel, no time, had to push into sight, and from then you're going to be walking into a held angle most likely. But now they'll have to go to Jim. Not opting to repeat Church for whatever reason. I guess they're just not comfortable with it. They want to try and throw Revenge off a little bit. Revenge are just sticking the same 5, though. I would not doubt if they take this same 5 lineup for literally every site. Again, the Warden for Serpega. I guess they're just really cautious of a Ying. That's all I can think of. I mean, he'll also help if if a smoke push comes down from temp. I guess Serpega can walk in and be like, hey, I can see you through the smoke and kill him. But I mean, still, it's a big loss of utility. You're bringing a Warden who, without a Ying on the board, largely probably won't do anything. When you could be bringing, you could be bringing a Maestro, you could be bringing a Mira, you could be bringing a Smoke or a Mute or a Mozzie. So it's kind of strange. Actually, does Serpega have does he have C4 or a shield? That's what I want to know. because we have seen, at least I've seen roaming wardens before, just so they can play with a C4. I don't know why, because it was they were playing for a C4 from below, and they knew that the other team was roam clearing with Ying, so they tried sticking Warden on the roam to play from below. But still, I'm gonna assume Serpega's taking a shield because that's what we've seen from him so far on their defenses. Which is still confusing to me why they're taking the Warden, but they're gonna Maverick Trick open the Jacuzzi wall already. Yeah, that's pretty quick. So the Kaid will just fall back and reinforce behind him, as the wall to Jacuzzi is now soft. They'll likely have probably Meds rotate over at some point to open that up, or Verch. Probably Meds, but Meds from below, he's cooking nades. He won't be able to find that. It's a good cook, but not able to find a kill. There's no one in that position. He's looking for people in Logi. One kill will fall, though. The Jaeger will get taken out by, I believe, sorry, the clean feed's a little blurry. I think that was Temp. And wow, okay, that was a fantastic pick through the floor by Meds, catching Rye. That was a great shot. And now all that Logi presence is done away with. You've essentially left Hoshi stranded in cash, desperately trying to look for a pick back, but he's largely being ignored. However, C4 from Zendini finds Temp, so the Capital will go down, and that's a huge utility pick, but Kaid gets traded by Thermite, who's taking control of Logi because it's free. Another frag back in the way of Enviik, but it's traded out, and the Warden just sprinting around in the middle of the site, strangely enough. He'll get finished off by Meds. In Revenge, they'll take that gym attack, and put themselves up on map point. So they've already guaranteed themselves 1 point. So if I'm not mistaken, if I look at the standings real quick, I don't think Enviik can Oh no, Regnant don't have a win. So I mean, Enviik can still potentially move up the standings, but they'll have to either draw or win. But with the way Revenge have been playing, again, I don't know how likely that is.
Attackers need to locate and defuse bombs.
That was a really good split push from construction and by the main stairs and jacuzzi side of things as well for Revenge. So far, super well played. And Enviik will go back to church. Now, here's the thing, though.
10 seconds to go.
This is map point, and they now have to pick the site that they lost because
Attackers are moving out to locate
I don't know. They just they kind of threw bodies away towards the end there, and that allowed Revenge to push in. Ash came from the flank and destroyed everyone. And it's an SSG roam again from Enviik. We see this all the time around the world. People have adopted this strategy for their own, made their own changes to it. What's interesting to me is they still have Warden from Serpega, and I really don't know why. And the Vigil playing aggro will get felled by the Ash of Verch. At least a trade, the shotgun of the Warden at least finds one. Ash will also fall to the long angle, being held by the Castle. However, the Castle for some reason decides to peek into Thermite, and he'll get taken out. And it's even man count advantage, but as I say that, Mozzie Falls trying to rotate back. Meds finds that kill, and it's Revenge and the man advantage. There's a certain way you have to play the SSG roam, and that roam certainly did not go well, but Mr. Easter just holding close with the shotgun, and Revenge just walked into him. I don't know what the play was there, especially after one body falls. He was looking for the trade, but I mean, it's a shotgun. And Maverick, they know exactly where he is. He's going to get pinched out. And Mr. Easter finding probably the freest triple kill of his life on the mute. That looked so well in hand for for revenge leading into that, but it's just, Mute holding close to the shotgun. That's all. That's all he needed. So they'll at least be able to take Church back. They don't want to put a stop to this map just yet. 11-6 for Verge too. Wow, already on double digits. You see how even the spread is for Revenge as well. I think it was 11, like 2 people on 8 and 2 people on 6. They're all effectively doing their jobs. They're all stepping up. It's really nice to see. Um, they'll go back to Cash, which they won largely due to excellent
Attackers need to
Rafters
locate and
presence
defuse
from the
as many
Kaid
bombs as they can.
of Zandini. And that's why, too, so, right, the thing that gave them the most trouble in that other round
10 seconds to
was Rafters. They could not take Rafters for the life of them. The nades missed, the fire arrow, Kai just decided to eat
Attackers are moving out to locate a
and
bomb and
pushed
defuse it.
through it, interestingly enough. And that's why they're taking Monty. Revenge are saying, okay, if we can't take Kaid out using our utility, we'll just have to, walk at him instead. Strike fear into his heart and make him move off. Verge again with a very early entry. Both these teams have been getting to the maps very, very early. And I'm not sure if that's down to maybe just assuming that everything's clear or just really, really good drone work and prep. Either way, it's been decently fast-paced for a clubhouse game. It hasn't felt like, at least, to me, it hasn't really felt like 10 rounds. It's felt like shorter. Maverick tricking the wall yet again is Sejanex. Meds, or actually, it's going to be Verge sticking with him to open the wall after it's done, as well as covering the prone angle to make sure that no one can frag him out. Are they? Is Maverick scared of something? I wonder if he thinks there's someone there. He's like pinging out the wall and not working on it. Temp covering downstairs is Meds and Nerf take a lot of damage. Nerf, I believe, from a C4, Meds just from a peek. And Nerf is effectively, I mean, he's stuck here. There's not a lot this Monty can do on his own. He'll drop the shield to distract the Kaid, but nothing really happens as Serpega, he'll find Meds on the sledge and finish him off. And that's now the Monty's main help gone. He'll melee the Kaid, though. I'm surprised he got away with it. And wow, okay, the C4 from Serpega will TK his teammate and fell the Monty. Hoshi will clean up that kill after killing someone on the breach as well. And Mankind advantage still in Enviik's favor as the Bandit falls. The Bandit at least gets traded out, but still Revenge fighting back in a 2v3, again, with no Rafters control. Temp is going to be the next one to try and take it, sending out fire arrows, but there's a cam, this cam just staring at him and watching him. So he's also taking the fight against the Lamai, who's the only counter to Capital. Speaking of, Temp is going to eat a lot of damage. He's down to about 25 thanks to the... Actually, yeah, the AUG of Hoshi. Hoshi will go down to the floor, though. He's knocked. 30 seconds left. Even man count. Temp lit up. Sejanex, the only full HP attacker. Meanwhile, Ryan and Mr. Easter have yet to eat any damage. Temp is going to be the one to take Garage Rafters control, though, with the Maverick outside of the breach. Trying to take into red, though. He'll spot the prone player. A great headshot there from the Maverick, and he'll start to try and get the plant down. Ryan has gas canisters, though. He can spot it as Sejanex is low on HP, and he'll fell both with the gas. And that's, again, early damage in the round, coming back to bite the attack. What a play by the Smoke. I don't think I've ever seen 2 gas canister kills from the same Smoke. Or from the same Toxic Babe. But it's, wow. It's going to happen. A great holdout there by Rai. Getting those 2 final frags. Revenge with almost a great recovery. But again, that lack of Rafters control, just so much damage eaten by the players defending it. It's going to be tough waiting around from that position.
Attackers need to locate and defuse as many bombs as
However, Church and Cash are now locked. This is the final round, and Enviik will have to defend Jin. This did not go well last time at all. Envik's logi pressure or logistics presence got absolutely crushed from the Ash above and the Sledge below. Then the Cash presence didn't do a lot, and then it was down to Warden just kind of running around like a headless chicken inside a site with a shotgun, and his glasses enabled. That's not going to do much. It seems like they're going for a similar setup. Luckily, Serpega is not going to be taking the Warden again. He was playing Bandit last round too. It's a nice change to see. And I don't think they're playing logistics this time. At least if they are, it's definitely not as heavily. Actually, someone going all the way downstairs to the basement is going to be Mr. Easter, looking for a late flank or to stop any kind of early pressure downstairs. He could come up for, if they try to go for that logi clear from downstairs below kitchen, he could flank from main stairs and take the sledge out. That would always be fantastic because that would take out nades from below as well. Rai is just peeking the single panel up to see if he can spot any players on rappel. That's very aggressive from the castle. Not going to find anything though. No one on the attack is playing by there, but he will get droned out and he'll fall back further into construction instead of cash. Interestingly enough,
attackers have located a bomb.
I don't know if there's anyone else positioned in cash or if Castle's the only man on that side. But Zandini's holding Logi, so instead of two men there's only going to be one, but he's felled immediately from the hatch by Virch. I don't know why he tried to peek that, but that's going to result in your Kaya dead, the TCSG off the board, a C4 off the board, Logi presence off the board, and fantastic control from the attackers, but through the wall as the drop comes from Nerf, the castle will fell him through the smoke. A good wall bang there by Rai, good awareness, but another one, the Jaeger, speaking of the flank, he'll take out meds below, and that was the sledge trying to clear downstairs. He'll get fragged out. The Ash at least, the Capitao at least trades back another one too. Virch taking out a second player trying to retake control of Logi. I don't know why they tried to push in, but now it's all up to Mr. Easter and Hoshi to try and secure the draw for Enviik and get them that point. Revenge, though, still holding firm. 3 men to 2. Revenge in the man count advantage. Also, none of them eating any damage while Mr. Easter is low, and Hoshi is still locked off inside of Cash. He cannot confidently rotate through construction for fear of that presence in Logi, which I believe is still the Ash of Verge. So effectively, it's Mr. Easter anchoring on site alone, 1 bullet's worth of HP against a Maverick and a Capitao, 2 other 3 speeds. In fact, every attacker is still alive is 3 speed. And speaking of the push into sight, it's going to come from Virch. He'll have to take the fight against the Jaeger. He's not in bathroom, though. They don't have intel on this player, I don't think. They don't know where Mr. Easter is. He's all the way by main. Doesn't spot out the planter of Segenex just yet, but there it is. The pre-fire comes in, but his teammate falls. That cash presence, that construction presence now off the table. It's Temp and Virch now as the planter has died, but there's only 14 seconds left. Mr. Easter doesn't have to hold out for very long, but he knows the attackers are going to have to push him. Virch is trying to get the plant down. He's whiffing the shots against Temp, and the pistol comes out, but can't find anything. Temp on the Capitao finds a second frag of the round, and it comes to be the very last one of the map. Unfortunately, Mr. Easter there whiffing a couple shots, not able to find that final kill, and that will result in the map win for Revenge. And just like that, until Vexed play, they take first place. So very well done by Revenge. It was definitely close. I think we can say that with confidence, is that it was much, much closer than actually any of Envik's other games. Yeah, Envik so far have lost 7-4, 7-2, 7-2, and 7-0. So 7-5, now it's Serpega back. Maybe that's what they needed to try and pull things back in their favor. Again, it was super close. It was 7-5, one round away from a draw, but unfortunately just wasn't enough. So it's 3 points on the board now for three more points on the board for revenge. That was really well played on the last round as well. Um, it was certainly close, but again, losing Logi like that and allowing the attackers to just funnel in, isolating your Jaeger and the Womai, that was not great. That was just not. That was pretty undoable at the end, unless they pulled out something insane. The Jaeger tried, but he unfortunately just couldn't land the shots where it counted. But that's map one in the books. We are going to take a short 5-minute break while we get the next map set up. Again, the next map is going to be, what is it again? It's going to be Coastline, which Revenge also have a very decent history on. So hopefully we'll see another close game from Enviik. Maybe they'll even come away with some, their first points of the season. But we're going to take a short break. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back with map 2 in just a little bit. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Enviik versus Revenge GG. If you guys weren't here for map number 1, it was Clubhouse, Envik's pick. Revenge took it 7-5. They took they actually took their defensive half 4-2, and then were able to string together 3 more rounds on the attack to finish us out 7-5. Now we go on to map 2, Revenge's pick of Coastline. Now, Coastline I think is going to be interesting because on Clubhouse, which is typically a lot slower and a lot more utility driven, they still got in the building very quickly and their pushes came very quickly. And Coastline definitely lends itself to that sort of play style. So I'm really excited to see what these two teams are going to do here. Revenge, they'll start on the defense and they will take Ying out first. Ying, after that buff, she is absolutely insane and nobody wants to deal with her. So they'll just opt to take her out. Capitao gonna follow as well. Capitao, again, a very default ban on this map. And I would not be surprised if the last two are Mira Echo. However, in the last map, it was Echo Valk. So I mean, it was interesting, but Maestro is going to be the one off the board instead. Interestingly enough, so Mira or Echo? It's going to be Mira. Okay, so instead of Mira being on the board like she was last map, we're gonna have Echo instead. That's cool. Echo's good on this map. Definitely. There's so many spots for him to play in. Almost every site lends themselves to an Echo, which I would be very, very surprised if Revenge don't take him on Hookah Billiards of all sites. Are they not? On this time, I mean, they could still 6-pick. And from Wamai to, I'm assuming it's going to be like Echo or Valk. Kaid on Hookah. Okay. So they see the Hibana pick from Serpega, and they just do not want Enviik to be able to take down the cocktail wall.
To locate and defuse as
But
many
again,
bombs as
interesting
they
that they're
can.
not going to be taking the Echo. I guess they just feel like they don't need it. They have enough delay with the smoke. They have C4s. Well, I guess 2 C4s on the side of Nerf and Meds. They've got the Roam from the Jaeger and the Jaeger, the Mozzie, and the Vigil. I would not be surprised if all 3 of those players are downstairs. Meds, because whenever you see a Mozzie on this site, you can bet your ass he's going to be downstairs playing for that C4 below Billiards. It's just kind of a default position. Usually, you have Mozzie playing below in Office. You've got someone supporting him, usually going to be that, that Vigil or a Valkyrie or a Pulse, and Jaeger holding down Sunrise. So yeah, it looks like we're going to have the tandem roam of Temp and Meds with Verge supporting downstairs as well.
Out to defuse a bomb.
Actually, no, where's the Mozzie gone? He's actually not in Office anymore. He went Sunrise, I think? Verge is... Okay, so Verge is Service, Mozzie's Sunrise, Vigil's holding around towards Lobby. An interesting, pretty spread out roam from Revenge, but speaking of the roam, it's Meds to find one. Jaeger's quickly fragged back, though, by the Ash, but you've lost IQ for Jaeger. That is a pretty decent trade in favor of the defense, I'd say. Verge is off the board, though. And Verge was your top fragger from last map. He dropped something like 12? I want to say like 12 or 11 or 12 or something like that. Meds is able to make it back to site, though. He's got his pick. He doesn't want to press the issue too much and lose his life for it, so he's just going to hold firm on cool vibes, which... if someone's not looking, this prone can definitely catch someone off guard. Temp has also gone back upstairs from luggage, so he'll retake into penthouse. And Enviik have largely been stumped by this roam. There's no one else downstairs, but they're still seemingly maybe a little bit wary of some kind of invisible pressure down there. Taking a long time to try and clear it out. Hibana x Kairos come out on that cocktail wall. It's up to Nerf to see if he can Kai trick it, but I don't think nope, didn't come down. She's actually able to get a couple holes open. Not too much of an issue though, because it's not, behind the bar stand where you usually see that position being played. The Mozzie will get droned out on cool vibes though, so that's enough info for maybe someone to push out, but the cam is still up. So the attack will just opt to take a little more time to flesh him out. Concussions as well for the Zofia to stun him. But, nothing gonna be acted upon just yet. Enviik have wasted a whole minute downstairs, not really doing anything. Meds is gonna take the fight against, I believe that's the Hibana on the hookah balcony now. And, this is going to be a difficult position for the Hibana to take as well. That is aggressive from Meds playing around by the bomb chassis. The C4 coming out, but unfortunately, it's going to land right on the door frame. The buck from below with the skeleton key will do a little bit of damage to the Mozzie as well. Almost spots the head of the buck, but unfortunately just a little bit too late on the trigger. Meds is getting pressured out by both these players right now, and there's someone on the window too to cover his rotate out of hookah. So Meds is essentially stuck in this corner, still trying to find the buck, sees him for a split second, but doesn't pull the trigger. He's desperately trying to find this kill downstairs. If he can take out the buck, that's so much pressure from downstairs alleviated, but the Zofia is coming up for the flank. She'll find the head, a lot of damage eaten back, and a smoke canister to cut her off, but she finds another! A double kill, 2 headshots in a row, Nerf will fall, and the Ash on the balcony takes out the smoke player as well. It's all up to Temp coming back from the roam. He can't even find the player on the rappel just yet, and the plant will go down. He'll finally be able to connect on the head, but it exposes his back to the player in sight. It's Serpega coming off the plant, finding the last kill, and Enviik. They'll take round number 1 off of a pretty swift roam clear, a nice trade, and a great collapse in the site. A good cool vibes flank there by the Zofia too, finding those 2 kills. The Mozzie, they knew Mozzie was locked in. There was one holding him at the door, one holding the rotate on the window, one below him, and they just said, hey Zof, go cool vibes, there's no one there, we droned it out earlier, and find your kill. She did, and she found a second one as well. So, a good take there by Enviik. But remember, this is how Clubhouse started too. Clubhouse started with a win from Enviik, followed up by 4 rounds in a row by Revenge. So I'm not convinced until Enviik take at least another round before Revenge effectively take their 4 for the half. And it's going to try and come down on Kitchen this time. Instead of taking Wamai, Revenge will opt for the Valkyrie instead on Nerf. Taking more intel, I think that was definitely lacking in the last round. They want those extra cams. They've got, possibly pests as well if they can get more drones. Same exact operator lineup for Enviik, which, it works on this site too. You've got the Zofia for utility clear. You've got IQ to try and clear stuff from above to counter the Black Eyes. Hoshi for the entry, Zandini, who's going to be working above. Surprised they're not taking the Sledge instead. You don't really need a buck on this site. Sledge will do fine, and Sledge does have nades, which are definitely useful here. So it's interesting that they're just opting to take the buck instead. Maybe they just want a little more flexible hard or soft breach. What is also interesting is Serpega on Hibana. Maybe maybe Enviik just assumed that they were going to go hookah again, because this is more of a hookah lineup than it is a kitchen lineup. Already very early pressure coming in. Those Sejnaks, he'll find the first pick on Serpega, just trying to rush through the door, but he doesn't know about the Zofia who's moved in behind him. Zofia will fall though. Hoshi was actually the one to pick up that kill on the upside down rappel. Verge finds another onto Zandini. Temp is down, so is Mr. Easter. We're effectively in a 3-on-2. Hoshi will confirm the kill though, but Temp is picked up. So back to a 3-on-2. The Zofia has been felled as well. She'll finally get finished off. Rai and Hoshi are very separated, though. Hoshi outside, Rai upstairs. And the defenders now, they have time to regroup. Actually, I just noticed there's still 2 minutes left on the clock. That was 5 kills in less than a minute. That was very, very fast. A service rush from Enviik. They're going to come out worse for it, though, unfortunately for them. And we've come at a bit of a stalemate. Enviik are trying to find another pick to even out the man count, but Revenge are playing pretty passively. You can see they're all just kind of holding angles, waiting for the attackers to push in, and that's kind of how you want to play in this situation. Because 1, you have diffuser control, and 2 players are very lit up. Verch and Temp are essentially on just around 1 bullet's worth of HP. You got 2 really hard-hitting guns. You've got the Commando and the R4C, which you're probably going to lose the fights to on that super low HP unless you land an instant headshot. If it's a body shot contest, you're going to lose. The pre-fire, though, from Hoshi, perfectly placed, will nab the head of Verch. A triple kill now on the round for the Ash to even us back out to 2-2 man count, but Temp, again, Temp is on just below 25 HP. He will die from 1 bullet. It's largely going to be on the back of Nerf to either trade out his teammate or try and absorb damage for him so Temp can pick up the kill. They are very separated, though. I'm not sure that Nerf and Temp can play for this trade, but neither can Hoshi or Rai. The end of this round is largely going to come down to 1v1 gunfights. The question is, does the IQ know Temp is there? Nope. Temp just playing a little rat corner, prone underneath the courtyard balcony. He'll find that kill and leave it all up to Hoshi. Hoshi will have to ace this round to win it. He's already got 3. He knows there's a player that's going to be in the pantry, but it sounds like he's getting pinged out constantly by that bulletproof. Swinging around, the pre-fire finds 1. A quad kill. Temp is only 1 bullet's worth of HP, but he's only got 5 seconds. He has to push into kitchen soon. He might know where the vigil is. He's around the corner by the sinks. Does he have time? The Ash just takes way too long. Hoshi, you need to move faster than that. That was so unbelievably doable at the end. But unfortunately, she was just way too cautious. She looked like she knew where the vigil was. Even if she didn't, she predicted it correctly. But the Ash, and that's not something you say too often, Ash moving too slowly. A little bit of an oxymoron there, but it's going to cause her team to lose out in the 1v1. A great try by Hoshi. It was really all him at the end there, but unfortunately not finding the ace. That would have been one for the, the highlight reel, but unfortunately it was not to be. Not gonna lie, kind of disappointed. That would have been cool as hell. But they'll go back to hookah. Now this is the site that Enviik had taken. Definitely showing teeth on this map. They pinched out that player in hookah expertly and just suffocated those people in the site. They'll be looking to do that again. Very similar lineup, except it's Nerf who's been switching on and off. He was on Kai in the first round, then picked up the Valkyrie, and is now on mute. So it seems like he's going to be the one to play the carousel of operators. We'll see how the mute comes to impact the attack this round. They're bringing the Mute Mozzie combo, so I guess that's something. So extra, even more drone denial. You've now got drone denial downstairs and upstairs on the roam and on the site. We'll see if Enviik are able to take it the same way. Maybe not able to drone out, buy cool vibes and into hookah as efficiently as they were last time. Again, Revenge playing this very spread out roam. You've got a player in bathroom, a player in reception, and you've got, I believe it was Mods who was by the Sunrise side, who was the one to find the first kill initially. It was, who was it? I think it was Rai that fell first. Again, service entrance being broken open. Verch pre-firing in that direction, but not able to find a head just yet. Mr. Easter burning out some utility to try and find him using those concussions, but he will almost swift the fight, and actually he does. He loses it out to Verch in the end. Both players were very lit up, but at least the Ash is able to trade it back. So again, Verch will fall right after getting his first pick, but Jaeger for Zof. Zof is definitely a way more influential pick. Yeah, you've knocked out a roamer, though, and again, this clear has been... You've traded 1 for 1, but it's been quick. I think Vigil may have been too late on the scan there, so he will get spotted out and opt to shoot the drone instead. Hibana is holding his cross with the ACOG. Vigil shouldn't win that fight. Med's going to take some damage from Hoshi on the Ash. And his position will get confirmed by the drone. Again, no super shorty, so we can't just make a rotate into blue bar and get out of there. Instead, he's gonna fall back even further in the corner into the mudroom. If he gets droned out, he should be quickly collapsed upon, as he really has no escape unless he can kind of... I think he can rotate up to hookah balk, actually. I don't think there's any attackers playing in that position. That might be what he's setting up for. But Zandini's gonna try and find the kill. Or at least he's worried about it. But he's gonna go to work underneath Cocktail with the skeleton key. That's what they brought him for that vertical soft destruction that Sledge cannot complete. Temp has also been very lit up. He's around 25. Him and Meds together make a full person. Hoshi also down to about 75 HP. Ryan making a punch hole in the pool wall, interestingly enough. Will get spotted out by the whatever SMG-11 operator is currently playing in hookah by the reinforcement. Zandini will take a hell of a lot of damage from above. That player in Cocktail dealing a lot, and now he's down to 1 HP. So he's going to have to be very careful, and a C4 through the wall from Meds will finish him off, but Serpega with the bearing 9 trays back on the Segenax before Nerf takes him out. And now that downstairs pressure is retaken, but quickly felled. The Mozzie goes down through the floor, an excellent shot from Rye. And Temp, again, he's very lit up in this 2-on-2. It's going to largely be on Nerf. The same two people to try and clutch it out last time. The C4 missed, but it's enough to fell the player, or enough to bait the player off the plant anyway. So I guess a little bit of time wasting there from Nerf, not able to find the kill, but good job anyway. The whopping triple kill on the round for Nerf with the SMG-11. Missing the C4, but hey, it was enough to knock the player off the plant and force IQ to push, and double headshot there at the end with the secondary machine pistol. Nerf holds on for his team, and Revenge will take what they couldn't do in the first round, and that is win their hookah defense. They'll instead flip the script and win that 2-on-2. At least I believe that was a triple kill for, I think that was a triple kill for Nerf, right? Verch got one.
Attackers recovered the bomb diffuser.
Meds got a guy downstairs.
15 seconds left.
I think that was a triple kill. I'm gonna go ahead and say that. I'm gonna write down that was a triple kill. I don't know if I'm wrong or not. I also don't have the stream open, so I can't see people yell at me in chat.
Defenders, protect your bombs.
It was a triple
Defused
kill.
by attackers.
Thank you very much, Trix. That was nice. I love you, Trix. Good job, Mute. And I was really down. Yeah, in that 2-on-2, again, I was so worried because Temps was so lit up yet again. But Nerf this time, instead of getting a kill and dying, he held on. So good job. All from Hookah, playing around that reinforcement perfectly. And Revenge will go to their third site. Again, though, these rounds have been astronomical. Well, not these rounds. I shouldn't generalize. Enviik took the first round very, very handedly with 3 men still alive. Or, no. Yeah, 3 men still alive. These last 2 rounds that Revenge have won have come down to the wire. The first round was off of time in a 1v1. If Hoshi, I guarantee Hoshi would have gotten that kill, and that would have been the ace clutch. And that round, it was a 2-on-2. That was so close. Enviik has been looking so much better. And I think it's just a matter of time before they start to they start to topple teams. I think they just have to get used to Serpega being back on their lineup. But you can see it's already strengthened them, so good job to Enviik, as they're gonna have to take into double bar now.
Located a bomb.
Double bar tends to be the offsite, tends to be a little bit weaker compared to Hookah and Kitchen. So I think if there's any site that Enviik are going to take back, it's gonna be this one. There's a player on Cool Vibes though, pressuring that upstairs presence. Hoshi appears to believe there's someone in VIP, but okay, no, I think he's pre-firing into Penthouse. I think there's someone in Penthouse. I can't quite see the silhouette. I think there's someone over there. So there's someone Penthouse, someone Luggage stairs, someone Cool Vibe stairs. So a lot of extensions by Revenge, not completely on the top floor. You've only really got one guy up there. But Rye is going to take out Verch, speaking of one of those upstairs players. At least a lot of damage is traded back onto 2 players of Enviik, but Nerf will eat a lot as well and just has no clue Easter is pushing down, and he'll get felled. So an excellent opening so far by Enviik. Verch and Nerf fall, 2 of their big players. So excellent play from Rye and Mr. Easter. And they're in fantastic position to try and take this round in a 5 versus 3. Temp is still off-site. Meds and Segenax are also split up. All 3 defenders are pretty much on different sides of the map. They can't really play for a trade. And it's at this point that you have to, as Enviik, say, they're isolated. If we move in as a unit, we should be able to take this round. As you see Temp, though, he's going to take out Serpega, who just dropped into Courtyard and with Diffuser. So now he's dropped Diffuser down. I don't know why he decided it was a good idea to just vault over like that. And he'll get taken out by the Valkyrie. Now things brought back in the favor of Revenge just a little bit. I don't know if they know that they have Diffuser control. I mean, Temp is camping it, and Meds is crossing as well, so I assume they know that they've dropped it. And that Sir Pega had it, or at least, you know, you can probably assume because he is the Hibana. It's Hoshi to try and recover it. Moving through security, doesn't know there's a player on his back, and the Wamai will collect that kill. They just had no info on him. Looking for the second is Meds, as someone who has positioned themselves in blue bar, Zandini, who's actually proned out to collect the diffuser. So, diffuser control back in the hands of the attack as Zandini finds a kill for his trouble as well. Temp, that player guarding it, will fall. A 3 versus 2, Enviik back in the man count advantage, but only by 1 rather than the 2 they had previously. They know there's a player in Sunrise, though. It's going to be Sejanex, but he fells the buck anyway, and Diffuser's dropped again. 13 seconds left. Can Meds get the second? No. IQ will grab that before being quickly traded by Meds. It's a 1 versus 1. How many times has it come down to this position? He'll have to pick up the diffuser, but there's only 2 seconds left. He'll have to stick the plant on 000, and Meds knows this. He's got the ping, and the Zofia will just lift off. She knows she's not going to win that. Revenge will take round number 4. And that is now the perfect site rotation going in their favor. And unfortunately, it looks like we're going to have, at least so far, the trend is, the trend will not be bucked. It looks like we're going to have a repeat of the last map. 1 for Enviik, followed by 4 in a row for Revenge, before Enviik finally take the last round of the first half. All Revenge have to do is take Kitchen to try and repeat. They took Kitchen last time, but again, right? They took Kitchen in a very nail-biting fashion, I'd have to say. Again, it was down to a 1v1. If Ash had moved into Kitchen just a second sooner, I think that would have been the round for Enviik. Maybe even, you know, maybe even half a second. She was so close to picking up that kill, and she knew it. It was Hoshi. Hoshi's been sticking the Ash, so unfortunately not able to find that. But who knows? Maybe she'll be able to complete it this time. Again, it was just kills for Enviik that round.
Attackers have discovered the location of a bomb.
But like I said, these rounds that Revenge have won have been so close. That's really good to see from Enviik. So hopefully they'll actually be able to turn one of these close rounds into a win.
Attackers objective is to defuse a bomb.
I think this is the same setup they had the first time as well. I'm fairly positive this is the exact same lineup that they had for Kitchen. Yeah, because the last 2 were Valkyrie and Vigil. I think they had Smoke. Yeah, this is the same lineup. So no service rush gonna come for Enviik though. Luckily, they're not just gonna trade out. You know, 5 people aren't gonna die within a minute. They're actually gonna take this slow, take this proper. You know, check off their to-do list. Not just rush into B. Or rush B, still go bleed. I'm sorry. But they know there's players upstairs. There's a ping on 1 in theater, and Hoshi will take pot shots over there, but the Jaeger of Virtue is not found just yet. He'll eat a bullet, but be able to escape with his life. Vigil covering his retreat, but speaking of the Vigil, he's felled by Mr. Easter. A great first frag. Temp will go down. The player who is able to clutch out the 1v1 due to time will go down first. As well as one of your primary roamers. So minute 40 left on the board, and you've pretty much completely cleared the top floor, I think. I don't quite know where Nerf is, but I think he's downstairs. Yes. Yeah, Nerf is downstairs. Sejanex will eat a lot of damage through the floor as well, or I don't know if that was through the floor or by the Hibana, but no matter what it was, he's on below 25 points of HP, maybe around 15. So he's going to have to be careful of any engagement he decides to take, especially because they're going to be close range with the shotgun. The Mozzie peeks out on a Cool Vibes because he knows that she's stunned, but she'll lose the fight because there's a second player there covering the angle. It's Verge and Harry Potter. However, again, Sejanex and Meds, 1 HP each in a 4v4. This is not the position that Revenge necessarily want to be in. That's a major HP disadvantage. We saw last time on Clubhouse that happened. You know, 2 players got killed by the same gas grenade because they were both 1 or 2 ticks. Hoshi is taking control of reception, though, and I don't believe there's anyone cutting off his cross from Courtyard, so he'll essentially be gifted free control into Pantry. The attackers, you see, they're setting up, but it's very slow. A lot slower than last round. 35 seconds as the buck from above is still searching for an entry kill into the site, but he just can't find anything yet. The defenders are playing this very, very passively.
And Enviik are wasting a lot of time trying to find this kill. I don't know if they know Nerf is hugging the door, though. That might be the kill that the Buck is trying to find, but they don't quite know where he is. Plant is starting to go down from Mr. Easter, though. The Buck will get found by Nerf. A great headshot there, and the plant will be lifted off of. She will get fragged out by the player entering bathroom, though. Hoshi gets a second, actually, and Mr. Easter is going to be able to plant by the reinforcement. The cross is cut off. A triple kill for the Ash. It's on to Verge, but he's found. Hoshi, this time, finds his frags, and the rest of his team is still up with him to see the spectacle. Hoshi with a 4K entering into the site, and Enviik will stop the bleeding. No repeat from last map. They take kitchen handedly thanks to the effort of their spearhead. Brilliant play from him. I'm so glad that I can actually get excited now because my clean feed is in 30 FPS. Thank you, YouTube, for cooperating. Hoshi is already 11-3 in 5 rounds. That is a 2.2 KPR. A 2.2 KPR, and I believe a 3.66 repeating KD. That is nuts from the Ash main so far. The only rounds he's died are the rounds they have lost. Actually, no, I lied, because one round they did lose was because he lost on time. But it's equivalent to the rounds that they've lost he's died in, at least. You know, 3 deaths, 3 rounds for Revenge. But they'll go back to Hookah. Revenge largely fixed their Hookah defense this time by not letting the attackers just kill people downstairs. And, Mute, Nerf. He really held it all together behind that reinforcement. He's gonna be looking to do it again. They've been consistently bringing the same operator lineups for you know, each of the respective sites. But I think Sejanex, Meds, Temp, and Verch have not switched operators this entire game. I lied. Meds played Wamai once. Other than Meds playing Wamai once, it's been Nerf who's been switching ops. Everyone else has been staying consistent. And Enviik has been static this entire game, too. They've been working with the same 5 ops this entire match. Ooh, Verch almost gets pinched out, but a pre-fire onto the head of Mr. Easter through the barricade. A great find. And that is an opening frag finally coming back in the favor of Revenge. Sir Peg has also been let up to around half HP. Trying to play close with the bearing 9 now, moving on these players in Sunrise, but he's getting crossed by the Jaeger. He'll get spotted out, not try and press the issue. That's going to be wise from Sir Pega. You don't want to see that, you know, that kind of push, especially it didn't appear he got kind of caught off guard, so he wasn't able to properly control the recoil of the bearing 9. If he continued spraying, I guarantee he would have lost that fight. So a good pass there by Sir Pega. He'll try and actually opt to open this wall to get angles on the player in Sunrise, and they can effectively cut off the rotate now because... Okay, alright, I'll just stop my point because he just dies on the window. Sejanex finds another one as well before the Mozzie is finally traded back. So Verch and Meds actually both die. So both the roamers finally go down, but your anchor players are still healthy as can be. Full HP, Hoshi very lit up, Rye's at least on full. But again, okay, so here's the confusing thing, right? Enviik are in a 2v3, but they're separating. Rye is sticking towards Sunrise. Hoshi is moving in towards Luggage. I don't know if going for a split push is what you want in when you've only got 2 men left in a man disadvantage. Hoshi's opting to go up to the roof. Okay, he's just using the roof to rotate. He's not actually going to stick on the roof. So they're going for a pool push now. Sorry, not a pool push. Well, I guess it's a billiards push through Aqua. So 1 player positioned on the balcony, Hoshi on the window, so he can try to cut off the players on Cocktail. It's gonna be really up to Rye to win his ones, which he won't there, being very lit up, and Hoshi to try and cut off any of the anti-plant from the defense. Rye might be able to get in, but again, he's got to worry about gas canisters from Nerf. Or sorry, not from Nerf, but from Sejanex. Speaking of the gas canister, it goes out, he's downed, and there's not a lot Hoshi's going to be able to do. As soon as he swings in, he should be, you know, it's a very loud sound cue, so he should be collected by one of these defenders. He'll opt to just go on the roof. He knows it is pretty much undoable. Actually, wait, is he actually going to push it? Yeah, okay. I don't know why he was even gonna try. At that point, it's like rappel up to the roof and talk it over to your team. You got like 15 seconds. Might as well take it to try and fix what's wrong. Oh, bullet holes from Tim. Yeah. Gross. So it's not exactly a mirrored half from last map, but it is the same. Revenge come away with the same scoreline. They take the half 4-2. So it's going to be really up to Enviik to try and, string together a 5-1 or a 5-0 half to take this. That's the only way they're going to be able to win,
Bomb diffuser
as
has
they
been
try and
stopped.
move to hookah first. Largely, the main site for anyone playing Coastline. Goyo going to come up from Zandini. That is, I'm pretty sure, the first Goyo we've seen all match. Nomad as well from Segenex, I don't believe was being played, and Nook. Nook is interesting. Huh. I wonder what Meds is going to do with that. Maybe do his best Aces impression against G2 on Coastline and just walk in and ace. Hoshi as well on Alibi. I don't think we've seen any Alibi. So a lot of new picks coming out. That's definitely cool. We saw the scoreboard was highlighted earlier, and Hoshi is on 12 kills. So no longer a 2.2 KPR, but still a 2.0 KPR. That's still really good. 3.0 KD. He has been really flying through. Oh, crap.
Attackers need to locate and defuse bombs.
That's unfortunate. So... Oy. Alright, so Mr. Easter DCs, unfortunately, we're gonna have to take a rehost because it was called during the prep phase, so... Or not during the prep phase, during the op select phase, so Enviik do have the opportunity to rehost, so... Hopefully it'll be a quick one. Hopefully we'll get Mr. Easter back. Again, it was after the op select and the 6-pick phase
10
was
seconds to
finished,
insertion.
so I'm gonna assume they have to pick same site, same ops, but we're going to, yeah, I'm gonna assume it's gonna be same site, same ops. So they have to go hookah, they have to go, Goyo, Alibi, Smoke, Wamai, whatever. And the Nook is gonna have to stick for Meds as well, but he was 6-picked. So same 6-pick. He'll have to stick on that. And we want to talk about the rounds that have progressed so far. Again, a lot of it has come down to just how well the trade game has been going for both teams and how well they've been able to frag out. It's Revenge has been taking the entry game. They've got 4 opening kills to Envik's 2. Which is, pretty much every round they've gotten an opening kill, they've won. I think that's kind of the moral of the story so far. Whoever gets the opening pick tends to snowball that into a round win. And that last round that we just saw is the most dominant win that Revenge has had. And that was with 3 men left alive. It's been absolutely back and forth throughout all of these rounds so far. And you got to really feel for Enviik, right? It's been coming down to 2-on-2s, 1v1s, whatever, throughout pretty much every single other Revenge win. And Enviik just unfortunately haven't been able to close it out. They've been winning those really, really crucial clutch attempts due to either lack of intel towards the end of the round because they don't have drones, lack of time because they don't have time to properly set up and they don't have time to drone. Everything like that, what have you. It's just really unfortunate. But we're getting all the players back in the lobby. We've got 2 from each. Mr. Easter isn't back in yet, though. Or sorry, no, 3 for Revenge, 1 for Enviik. Hopefully, Mr. Easter gets back soon. I think his game just crashed, so it's nothing major. You should be able to just reconnect as soon as possible. And nope, that was Meds. Now we've got 4 out of 5 for Revenge. I still gotta say though, he's outfragged everyone in the lobby from last map in the past in 6 rounds already. Hoshi has single-handedly been carrying Enviik to these close round wins, and it's I think the main reason um why Enviik have been losing these crucial rounds or these crucial clutch situations is because it's mainly on the backs of Hoshi or on the back of Hoshi. And you can't rely on him for, for everything. You gotta try and step it up and join on that high frag potential. Mr. Easter is back in the lobby, so um I assume as soon as all 5 players are back, we can head right back into the game and get this ball rolling again. Luckily, the sites also don't really matter because it is a new half. So it's not like anything's been played so far. We just put in 6 rounds, 4 rounds for Revenge, 2 rounds for Enviik, and just start the game essentially. Um, so yeah, we're just waiting on the last player from Enviik. We got Serpego, Hoshi, Mystery. Who are we missing? We're missing Zandini. Um, but yeah, man, it's mainly been Mr. Easter and Hoshi, I think, that I've been screaming the name of so far throughout this whole game. Uh, because Revenge have largely been a team effort. Everyone's had impact. It's been pretty even across the kill feed as well for them, like we saw in Clubhouse. But for Enviik, it's been 2 guys stepping up. It has been 2 people really putting Enviik on their backs and trying to push them through these rounds. But unfortunately, again, you can't. You got to work as a team. You can't just be relying on people clutching up like that. So yeah, we're just waiting for we're waiting for that last player still. As soon as he gets in, we're just gonna jump right into the game. And there he is. Sandini's back. Cool. So we're asking for R's from both teams. Make sure everyone's ready. And we have a ready from Enviik. We have a ready from Revenge. There we go. Back into Coastline. Cool. Can't wait to get back into it. Enviik, again, I think if Revenge took the 4-2 half like that, with so many of those rounds being close, if other people from Enviik just wake up and join Hoshi and Mr. Easter up there, Enviik can at least take a draw and get their first points of the season. Um, the thing that we got to remember though too is momentum. Momentum plays a huge part in Siege. Um, wait, do Enviik not have to go back to the same site? I thought they had to go back to Hookah. Um, it should be because we got so all right. So the way it works is if it's during the operator pick phase and someone DCs and they call the rehost during the op pick phase. Did they call rehost before reveal? So that's the way it works. So if you call rehost before the reveal, then you can choose different ops. If you call rehost after operator reveal phase or after 6th pick, you got to go the same ops, um, and same site. Uh, we might. I think again, I'm not an admin, so I'm not gonna make the call. But so we called rehost and loading screen. I think it's up to Revenge whether or not they want to rehost, right? Because I don't think it's a forfeit round. I think we just need to rehost again. Yeah, okay. So we're just gonna call the rehost again because Enviik should have picked the same site. Yeah, so okay, again, because Enviik called the rehost after the 6th pick phase, they should have gone same ops, same site. Um, all right. Now the question becomes: is that a forfeit round for revenge? Yeah, we just got to get an admin to confirm. So because Envic went into the round on the wrong site, we're just confirming with admins to see if it is a straight replay of the round or if it's a forfeit round for revenge. Um, so, uh, yeah, we're gonna hold the lobby for a sec. I think we're gonna take a quick break while we get admins. While we get well, we discuss with admins and try and get a ruling. Hopefully it doesn't take too long. So don't go anywhere. It'll just take a couple minutes. We'll be back with an admin decision.
All right, welcome back. Sorry about that. We just had to deliberate with the admin. So the decision is as follows. Enviik, unfortunately, will forfeit the round because we went back. We actually rewinded the VOD. We went back in the clean feed. We found the first instance of Enviik calling the rehost was actually in the loading screen, transitioning from operator select into prep itself. So, and it was right when Mr. Easter disconnected, and then the rehost was called by Serpega, was the one who did it first. So, because the rehost was called after all of the op select was finished, Enviik should have gone back to the same site with the same ops, but because they selected double bar and went different ops, they have to forfeit the round. So it's going to be 5-2 for Revenge. Unfortunately, that's a free round for them. Um, Enviik probably aren't going to be happy about that. But you know, it is what it is, unfortunately. So we're gonna head right back into the match. Enviik are going to go back to Hookah, which was the original site that they should have gone to, um, instead of Double Bar. And Revenge will take the exact same lineup, actually. So Med's gonna be on that Nook, interestingly enough. The thing is, though, right when that rehost happened, the second rehost, Med started killing people with the Deagle, so I wonder if Enviik expect the Nook now. That would certainly be interesting. Either Nook or Blackbeard. I mean, either way. Um, everyone's loading in. Please don't DC. Uh, there we go. All right, perfect. We're actually in the round now. All 10 players in. No one's crashed. No rehost shenanigans. We're all good. But again, I mean, that putting Revenge up 5-2 like that, unfortunately, that's got to take a hit to the mentality of Enviik. Now it's going to be even more difficult for them to try and come back. You know, now instead of a 2-round deficit, it is a 3-round deficit. And they've effectively, you know, in order to win this game, they had to at least take a 5-0 or a 5-1 half, and they've effectively already lost that 1-round buffer. They have to take the next 5 rounds perfectly if they want 3 points. Otherwise, they're going to have to take, effectively, you know, they have to match Revenge's 4-2 half and try to take the... I think at this point, honestly, I think Enviik are playing for the draw. Just at this point. It's super unfortunate, but, you know, again, it is what it is. Zandini's going to be the one hard-sticking Warden for whatever reason instead of Serpega. Again, I don't really get it. Not really. I guess, because Ying is banned, actually. Who banned Ying? Ying was banned by Revenge. So I don't know why they decided to pick it, but Mr. Easter will start us off on the temp. So, you know, your Sledge is now off the board. Your Nade's now off the board. A good opening frag by the Jaeger of Easter. And in Sunrise. So, good job to him. But I mean, hey, you know, at least he got Nook. Actually, Meds might have... Nook has nades now. I completely forgot because no one ever plays Nook in comp. Nook has nades now, so I guess they technically don't have nades off the board. They've still got them on Meds. Serpega contesting down in Office will find a kill onto the Nook, so now nades are really down. No more nades at all. As I say that, I think... Where was Meds? Moving in from Luggage, I think? Interestingly enough. Meds will go down. The Stealthy Operator will no longer be in play. And we'll see what Revenge can do to work out of this 3v5 situation. It's Nerf, Verch, and Segenex against the 5 of Enviik. The whole team, and people still downstairs. Most importantly, a Pulse still downstairs. So Pulse can still play for that C4 from below, and even if he doesn't, he can still feed intel, plenty of intel, to his team on where the push is going to be coming from, which it looks like it's going to be Aqua. Yeah, the Nook did die in Luggage, just kind of pushing it. So, the push is going to come from Aqua. They've got to deal with the C4, though. There's at least 2 on the board. The Castle wide swings Nomad and falls. I mean, but, you know, Serpega's effectively already done his job. It's Castle. You know, you've lost no utility. The most important thing, I think, is going to be this Pulse. Pulse can still play downstairs. He still has C4. He still can call out intel.
And it's going to be Hoshi to try and go downstairs, but he's felled by Mr. Easter, hugging that window. So the Ash is off the board. A 2 versus 4, but I say that, and Rai, he actually takes out that player before being traded back, and Zandina swings with the SMG-12. Enviik are able to take Hookah and bounce back from the rehost, put themselves on 3 rounds. Definitely well played. Again, 3 men still alive. So, you know, still a fairly dominant round from Enviik. It's good to see. And now they'll opt to go to double bar. Again, see, like, Warden, I mean, I guess now it can kind of come into effect because Meds is picking up Gridlock. So you've got smokes on the board. And, you know, Warden can counter smokes. He can see through them, whatever. And Meds is Amaru. Never mind, Meds is Nook again. Again, yeah, Warden is just, I don't get the pick. They hard stuck Warden on Clubhouse for like 3 rounds in a row, and it looks like they're going to do the same on Coastline. I still, like,
Defenders, protect your
I just
bombs
don't get
from
it,
being
man.
defused by
There's so many
attackers.
better operators you can bring. Like, you can bring, like, Smoke. You're really not going to bring Smoke on double bar so you can take Warden? Really? Really? I just don't really get it. I mean, I guess it... Because you can't even say, like, it worked. Because the Warden didn't do anything. That last kill could have been collected by literally any other operator. So, I don't really know.
10 seconds to go.
I don't...
Left before insertion.
Yeah, I don't really get it. But it's whatever.
Defuse the bomb.
We take clear of ADS line of fire.
Interestingly enough, the Warden is going to be playing off-site in Kitchen with a shield. For whatever reason, Legion's going to be the one to try and hold upstairs along with his, I think that was... I actually didn't see who that was. I think it's the Jaeger in Billiards. Yeah, it's going to be the Jaeger. So Mr. Easter and Hoshi are able to use this cross on the doorway. Warden holding in Kitchen. Last 2 players downstairs by sight. So, you know, pretty average setup from everyone. But wow, what a beautiful angle from Hoshi. Will rip the head right off of Nerf between the couch and the pillow. However, Meds on the Nook. He'll find his impact and take out the Jaeger. A nade being cooked to land on Cool Vibes. Is there an ADS to cover? There is not, and Hoshi will eat a lot of damage, unfortunately, there for the Legion. But Meds is already doing better than he did last round. Last round, he just kind of died in luggage, but, you know, he's at least able to find a kill this time and flush out that player playing by, playing on Cool Vibes. Hoshi's looking to maybe flank up by luggage stairs, though. No one on the attack really positioned over there to stop him. Rai going to be pre-firing over towards Cool Vibes as well. Appears to know Meds is positioned over there. The Nook, though, will find another kill. Serpega gets crossed by him. And the mute is down. That's a C4 off the board. Rai chucking impacts up there will do a lot of damage to Meds, but Warden gets felled by Sejanex, who's just in sight behind the bomb chassis. Rai at least will take out the Nook, but Verch trades him back. And it's all up to Hoshi. A 1v3, if there's anyone on Enviik who's going to be able to clutch up this situation, I guarantee it's going to be him, but the plant will go down from the Nomad. Sej gets the bomb. And it just became a whole lot harder for Hoshi to try and take this, or for Hoshi to try and take this back. Solid post-plant positions being held by Revenge as well. Everyone effectively full HP. I guarantee there's going to be someone above. There's someone in Mudroom. There's not a lot he's going to be able to do. And just from the top of the bar, Temp swings out with the SMG-11 to finish him off. And just like that, after the rehost, that's going to be match point. Or, sorry, map point for Revenge. 6-3 so far. Now, it was 6-3 on Clubhouse previously. Enviik were able to take 2 rounds back. Nearly took the 3rd. But still, it was a 7-5 win for Revenge. If history repeats itself, you could see another 7-5 victory if Enviik start to make the comeback but can't complete it. They'll try to start on Kitchen, though. Interesting that they went bar first, but, they were just playing for the
Attackers need to
offsite.
locate and defuse as many bombs as they can.
Again, Warden! Why? It's not like it's going to help you
Attackers have
spot
located
Nook
the
better. Like, I don't... It's strange. Like, there's not even anything on the attack that's going to do anything. Like, that Warden would be able to counter. Like, maybe, ooh, I can not get stunned. Haha. But, like, how often do stuns actually facilitate a push into someone? Like, never. And what positions are there on Coastline where that's, needed? Like, there's walk-in on... Or there's the closet on Villa. There's blue stairs on Bank, which, isn't in the rotation anymore. But there's not a lot of chokeholds like that in Coastline that you're going to have to
5
hold
seconds
with
left before insertion.
a Warden. Or there's not a lot of chokeholds
Attackers are heading out to defuse the
where... Or choke points where holding it with a Warden would make it easier than with anyone else. I don't know, it's just a little bit confusing. And it hasn't really done anything yet. I mean, if he's been actually doing stuff, like, virtue of the ability, then I'd be a lot more convinced. But the Warden has largely just not found any direct use, so... I don't know. Flash has come out to make sure there's no ADSs covering that shield, and he'll try to destroy it, but I think there is an ADS on the inside to take out that Ash charge. Being stopped right now as Hoshi is holding onto this shield firm. The ADS will get burned out, and there it is, the nade to clean up the shield. So now Hoshi is largely without cover, but Zandini, speaking of the Warden, he finds a frag with the SMG-12 onto Verge. So the Ash will go down. A good flank there by Zandini up luggage. And Rai follows it up on a nerf. So now a 2-man lead for Enviik after those initial openings. Really shutting down the entry there by Theater. Wow, that was very close for Meds. The nade actually doesn't really do anything. As Meds will just walk down Cool Vibes, maybe looking for that player outside by the hallway, but he won't be peeked. I mean, if Meds walks into sight, I guarantee he'll be able to find a kill. Especially because, he can hide from the camps. He'll shoot the cam anyway, for whatever reason. Interestingly enough, there's a player behind the bomb chassis, I believe. I think that's the mute of Serpega. He'll activate the presence reduction again to try and make his way into sight. He now has control of A. He'll find a kill onto the mute. There's a player in pantry, though, he's got to worry about. He's looking at multiple directions. He backs up. It's going to be the Warden. He finds the head. A fantastic shot with the FMG-9 from Meds. Just like that, the Nook, grace of that stealth, will walk right in the sight and even out the man count, and that's going to facilitate the plant from Sedge. Segenex will get it down, and now it's post-plant. And Revenge are in such a good position, but as I say that, Meds will get taken down. He's knocked, so man count advantage back in Envik's favor, but the last two attackers are outside. Segenex and Temp, who, speaking of Temp, he'll go on the upside down rappel, and that is so hard to counter. They know about it, though. They'll pre-fire towards him, but he's playing it passive. Nomad will stun out one player, 2 players, actually. Hoshi and Rai both get stunned out. The swing out coming from the Legion, though, it's covered. He's finally traded back, but still it's a 1v2. The diffuser's starting to get, but a double kill, a triple for Segenex at the end, going massive, swinging the delivery door. And Revenge, by the grace of a 1v3 from the Nomad, as well as the plant. Segenex going huge on that round. They'll take the map even more dominantly than the last, by a scoreline of 7-3. Beautiful play by Segenex there. And holy crap. Honestly, when that sledge died, I was like, wow, what an impact play from the Legion. That was huge. And then everyone just got traded out. I think too that rehost definitely hurt Enviik. You saw Hoshi. Hoshi had 12 kills. 12 kills in 6 rounds. And then those last 4, he found 1. That was unfortunate. But again, a massive play. Absolutely massive play there from Segenex at the end. We'll gift them